I'm Brian here, reporting live from Broughty Ferry, Scotland. Now, this is the second time in less than 2 years that I've been at the headquarters of Strange Places in Scotland, more commonly known as SPiS. The last time I was here was in February 2016, when rescue crews were summoned to the premises when SPiS founder, Mr. Jag Betty, received severe emotional injury when an invention he was working on, a so-called bounce-back toy, exploded, sending shards of PVC and other materials flying everywhere. At that time, Mr. Betty was transported to the Sunnyside Hospital for observation. However, he was released after authorities deemed him stable enough to be returned to society. And yet again, here I am. It seems another incident has occurred here at SPiS headquarters involving Mr. Betty. Take a look at this footage he posted on his website. Apparently he managed to get a hold of a sophisticated, military-grade, remote-controlled drone aircraft equipped with missiles of all things. This drone is equipped with not one, but two sets of super sharp rotor blades. One can only imagine the damage these high-speed blades can inflict. Look, the maker calls it blades, as if to emphasize the deadly nature of this craft. I pulled this footage off the SPiS website, which shows the complicated control unit used to operate the craft. As you can see, this obviously should only be operated by highly trained, licensed, and certified personnel. Take a look at the surgical alloy polyethylene blades. And to make matters worse, no sooner does he have it out of the packing crate, he is already experiencing problems with the unit. You can see here the expression of utter confusion on his face. And then he says,
"Oh, Jag, honestly, see what? If all else fails, read the instructions."
Not exactly what you want to hear from someone flying a military attack drone. However, Mr. Betty's persistence eventually paid off. And here we can see him launching the craft for the very first time. I said launching the craft for the very first time. Not exactly instilling confidence in his ability to fly this craft, is it? And unbelievably, he accidentally fires some of the missiles off the craft.
Crikey, just fired all those missiles out. Good God.
Here are several scenes of Mr. Betty trying to fly the drone with little success. In fact, he crashes it time and time again. And in the process, he actually loses one of the missiles. Where it is anybody's guess. As painful as it is to watch this aircraft loaded with highly explosive missiles crash over and over, it eventually became damaged and could no longer fly.
I'm banging it together. Like, what's this?
But the intrepid Mr. Betty was not detoured. He continued with his attempts to launch the craft, fortunately without any success, but unfortunately still randomly launching missiles. Authorities were alerted by neighbors when they kept hearing the repeated sounds of the craft crashing. Arriving on scene, Mr. Betty was relieved of the military drone and then transported promptly back to Sunnyside Hospital, where this time he's expected to remain for an extended period. For now, there is no further threat to the residents of Broughty Ferry. I'm Brian, reporting live for Sky News. Back to you in the studio.